I don't know how other people would feel, but sometimes life gives you a surprise so unexpected it changes everything. For me, that surprise was Jaku, a little bird who quite literally fell from the sky into my life and changed it in the most wonderful way I never could have imagined.
Yeah. Aferin sana. Jaku.
One morning, on my way to work, a tiny bird dropped right in front of me from the rooftop. That was the very first time I met Jaku, just a fragile baby bird, trembling wings, barely able to stand. I wasn't sure what had happened to him, but in that moment, all I knew was that I had to scoop him up gently and take him home. I'd never cared for a bird before in my life. I live and work in Sivas, Turkey. When I first moved here, I was amazed at how many different kinds of birds I saw, but never in a million years did I think I would end up raising one. In the beginning, I had no idea how to feed Jaku. I turned to YouTube, watched video after video, and slowly figured it out. And little by little, Jaku began to heal. Seeing that tiny creature fight to survive touched me more than I can say. When Jaku finally learned how to fly, I started taking him outside. At first, I chose quiet, empty places because Jaku was easily distracted by noise. I let him go, and to my amazement, he soared up into the air,
Yürüyen uçak.
then circled back and landed right on my shoulder. From that day on, we explored new places together. Eventually, I let him fly freely in the garden of my apartment.
Jaku gel fıstık.
Jaku belongs to a small crow species, his feathers black and shiny, only about half the size of a big crow. But to me, he was never just a bird. Jaku became a true companion. Most of the time he would fly with me, play with me, and even when he mingled with other birds, he always came back. My balcony is covered with glass. During the day, Jaku flies around as he pleases, but at night, he always comes back home and sleeps on the balcony. In the morning, about an hour before sunrise, he wakes up, playing with his little toys, and here's the sweet part, he never makes a sound until he hears me moving inside. Only then does he start singing, asking me to let him in. Jaku is full of affection. He often brings me gifts, little leaves, sometimes even walnuts. When I return home from work, I can see him circling above, excitedly waiting for me. Once, I had to travel abroad and left him with a friend. We FaceTimed while I was away, and the moment he saw me on the screen, Jaku chirped and danced around with joy. When I finally came back home, he wagged his tail, sang out loud, and clung to my shoulder all night, refusing to leave me. I'll be honest, sometimes I worry about Jaku when he's out there on his own. The world outside is full of dangers. But I also know that true love means respecting freedom. That's why I've never locked him in a cage. I'm happiest when I see him soaring free, and even happier knowing he always chooses to come back to me. One thing Jaku has taught me is this: when you open your hands and your heart, when you give patience and kindness, even the smallest creature can return to you with a bond and love deeper than you ever expected. So if one day you ever think about adopting a pet, please remember, it's not just a responsibility, it's an emotional journey. Be ready to love with your whole heart, and you'll receive more in return than you can possibly imagine. And if Jaku's story brought you a little joy or warmed your heart, I'd be grateful if you shared it with others. And don't forget to leave a like. Because when we spread love, we always get more love back. Sometimes in the most unexpected, beautiful ways. Just like the way Jaku fell into my life.